Welcome back to Real Talk. Again, we have Kachi from Cribs Foundation and our mother and daughter, Joyce and Tiffany, with us today.
Now, before we get to see what our viewers have to ask, I would just like to ask the three of you, what's one advice you would give to someone who's considering adoption?
Okay, Kachi, ikaw muna.
Well, because I am an advocate for the child, I would encourage people, especially those who do not have their children, to, well, even if they have their children, to consider adoption.
Okay.
For those who are considering adoption, do it the legal way.
Yes.
Legal. And you, Tiffany?
Those who want to adopt,
Yeah.
go for it. And love the child.
I love the child. Nice. Okay.
Now, let's see what our viewers have to say. First, we have Trudy, and her question is for Kachi. I'm a regular volunteer for an orphanage and have developed a relationship with this one kid. Can you choose who you wish to adopt?
No.
No.
It's just like when you conceive a child, you do not know what
I thought
kind
you
of
would
child.
choose.
You can have your preference, like in terms of age,
Okay.
in terms of the gender,
Yeah, choose a girl.
and well, yung medical condition of the child.
But you cannot
But can I choose?
But you
Like
cannot
medyo
choose.
may mestiza ng konti or...
That's why there is a matching committee. So there's a matching process.
But in your
that will be
case, you
going.
said you fell in love when you saw her.
But that was already
After the
after
match.
matching. After going through the rigors of adoption.
Oh, wow. How nice.
So is it a bad
It's
idea
like-
to meet the kids first?
Yeah,
Baka ma-fall in love
baka,
kayo.
how was that?
Better not muna, or...
Yes, better. Well, of course,
So you cannot. So if that ever happens, like if Joyce would go and saw Tiffany, but Tiffany wasn't given to her yet, and said, but this baby's so cute, I feel it, she's really mine.
no.
No, even if I beg, please, she's
Ikaw may
really
bala.
mine. Because sometimes, you see something and it's just that
I
automatic.
understand.
No.
Even actually, foster parents would have to go through the matching process.
Okay, so...
Of course, we have volunteers coming in, and they would be in love with the kids,
Yeah.
and they would have, of course, particular child.
Favorite.
Yes, yes.
Particular favorite. But just the same, they will have to go through the process.
Or like even a child, like even if a child says, I want that parent. I don't want that parent. Pwede bang ganyan?
You have to abide by the...
Abide. It's okay, we'll be
Next, we have Maita, and she asks, my husband and I have been married for 8 years, and we still don't have kids. I'm now considering adoption, but he still hasn't given up hope on having his own kids. Is it a bad idea to convince him otherwise? Maybe from the mom.
Yeah.
Adoption has to be a husband and wife agreement. You both should go for it. And the institution would know
Yeah.
if
They can tell.
if it's just a wife or it's just a husband who likes it, and they want both parents to really adhere to it.
Next, we have Anton, and he asked, my wife and I recently adopted, and I am so afraid of not being able to bond with her. Okay, how did you get over this fear, if you had any?
In my case, I didn't have any fear, and because as I said earlier, I fell in love with my baby, and I became a mother, 100% mom. I really took good care of her, so I didn't have fears at all. So I think if you have fears, I think you're not yet ready. You're not 100% ready for adoption because of that apprehension.
So you'll know you're ready when there's no fear.
Yes, I saw. Yes,
Yeah.
when you're fearless and you just go for it.
Yeah, so how do you feel, Tiffany, that to be loved so much by a woman like your mom?
Feels good. Yeah. Really good.
You're one of those lucky, because there are also so many mother-daughter that may be biological but don't
Yes.
have really
A smooth
Yes.
smooth
That kind of
relationship.
Yes.
You know, it's parang so sayang, di ba? What would you advise somebody that's been adopted that might be having a hard time bonding with her parents?
I guess I would just tell that child that he or she should be more open to the parents so that they might have that close connection, because that's how my mom and I did it. I'm very close to my mom, and that's how I became open, and that's how we connected, the mother-daughter.
Because maybe she was transparent with you from the get-go and there were no
Yes.
secrets.
Next, we have Ellie, and he asked, why is it important for adopted kids to find their biological parents? Okay, why don't you answer it first, Tiffany?
For me, it's important because there's always this question as for me, there's always been a question in my head, like, sino kaya yung nanay ko? And bakit kaya niya ako bakit niya kaya ako binigay? Yung ganon. So when I found my mom, I was happy because even without asking her, why did you give me up for adoption, she already said it. She already said the reason, and she asked for forgiveness. So that's the best part.
Wow. Are you able to say what her reason was? Or?
Yes, because she was too young back then, and she didn't think that she was ready to have another baby.
And so after knowing that, you had no need anymore to meet her.
No need.
No need.
No need.
Do you know if she has a family of her own now? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you still communicate?
Or
Yes. We still do. She just greeted me.
because it's your birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
your birthday. Okay, so most people like to look for the biological mom, but not the dad. Or
Or both.
both.
Did you ever wonder about your dad?
I did, but then she didn't mention my dad anymore because she was never married.
Okay.
Yes.
So why do adopted kids
Why is
feel
there
the need?
like a psychological need?
Yeah, because there will always be a vacuum in their heart. We have had children. We have had adopted kids returning back to search.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they're already like grown up, in their 20s, in their 30s.
And then what do you say?
We assist them because after the adoption we have this what we call the post-adoption services, where we try to assist also the searchers, the adopted kids who are searching for their birth, for their roots. And usually they just like Tiffany, they just would like to find out who and why. That's it.
Are there any parents or moms that leave their kids and say, please do not look for me?
Yes, and that's part of our in the making of the child study report. We always tell the social worker, okay, we have to indicate in our files whether the mother would like to be searched or not. Because of course there are varied situations. There are circumstances that the mother would not want to be searched. So we keep the records up to the end if it's an adoption case. And if the child expressed to search for the mother, and then we would look into our records and facilitate the process, because that's another process also. It's but it's good for Tiffany because she's
Thanks
a
to
great
Facebook.
mom. Yeah, she has a great mom.
Yeah, you look so
Guiding her. But with others, we have to assess their capacity, their psychological capacity to search for
See,
that.
you're made for each other.
And usually it happens even if it's an inter-country case.
Yeah,
It happens after, when they're grown up, when they're over 18.
They come back.
Right.
come
And our
back.
last question comes from Champ. And he asks, I just recently found out I was adopted and a part of me feels incomplete. Is this normal and will I ever get over it?
Is it normal to feel incomplete, Tiffany?
For me, no. It's not, especially if your adoptive parents gave you love. Yes. That's
Well, I think it's part of the process of being human.
Yeah.
That
Trying to
because
find
there's
yourself, maybe,
yeah,
no?
because there's a vacuum. So it's normal to feel incomplete. That's why we have the search process. And once we find the answer, and then that will complete us. Just like Tiffany,
Yeah.
she's now complete because she found her mom.
Yeah. But would you consider adopting if ever?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
She's been telling me that.
Yeah, really?
Mom, in the future, I also like to adopt like what you did to me. It's like paying it forward.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being with us today. That's it for Real Talk. I hope you all enjoyed our topic for today.
We certainly got
We
enlightened.
did. I learned a lot. You've inspired us all. Thank you.
Thank you to our viewers for joining the discussion. Have a great day, everyone.